Hello everyone and welcome to our Kumustahan session for grade 12, yung students for the subject creative writing. And today it's already January 4, 2022. And I hope you've had a great holiday season, and a great Christmas break. Happy New Year, everyone. So, since walang pumapasok sa call and I think most of you haven't claimed your modules yet, so it's better off that I start already and record the session instead, no? Para hindi sayang oras natin pare-pareho. So, I'm just gonna check the chat group if we have people reacting already to the post. And there are a few. Hello kay Hana Almano. Hello, good morning Hana and Happy New Year sa'yo. So I'm just going to share my screen right now. So the recording is actually starting already, Hana. No, I hope it's okay that the session is recorded. Yeah, I'm just gonna share now my screen. Thank you for coming, Hana. And good morning. Okay, so now we have our lesson for this week. You're going to write a one scene or a scene for one act play applying the various elements, techniques, and literary devices you learned from the previous sessions. Okay, so now this is just an introductory text, and the parts of the module. But now you can just go directly to weeks 3 and 4 on page 32. That's where your learning really begins. So we can explore that. So this lesson is designed for you in mind. You have already the targets there. So we have 4 targets for this week. You are to identify the different staging modalities, determine which stage modality is appropriate in a certain script, and explore different staging modalities vis-a-vis envisioning the script, and write one scene for a one-act play, applying the various elements, techniques, and literary devices you learned from all the previous lessons. And with that, you can answer the pre-test here. So there's a task here about the terms that you are to come across as you delve into the lesson. So this is just a pre-test, but this is not a required activity. So you can explore that. There's also a learning task here, arranging the jumbled letters. And then once you arrange the jumbled letters, that will give you the term that's being referred to by the definitions here. Again, you can explore that, but again, that's not a required task. This is another task here. Use me to create using the form words in a previous task. You can create 2 sentences. So hindi rin siya required. And then eto, compare the stage. You are to observe the similarities and differences of the pictures below. Write your answers using the 4-circle Venn diagram. Write your answers in your notebook. I created another task here using the activity sheet. So we'll be delving into that later on. So ito yung 4-circle Venn diagram. Skip muna natin yan because we'll be focusing on the weekly home learning plan later. Let's focus muna on the content. So in this part of the journey, this is to deepen your understanding of the lesson. Now, there are paragraphs here about drama and staging. Okay, so staging is a very important aspect of creative writing because that tells you how the characters are gonna stand in the stage, because here you're going to write a play already. So we're far off from the poems and the short stories. Now we're creating a play. And writing a play is like writing for a larger audience because that's meant to be acted out by the characters. So we have the basic types of a theater stage. So first up, you have to know muna what a stage is. So staging refers to the performance of a drama or play in a stage. The stage is the area where the actors perform and is usually a raised platform. So mas mataas siya than the audience because the audience has to see syempre the characters up on stage. So it's essential to understand how to explore the different staging modalities vis-a-vis envisioning the script. Kailangan nakabalanse yung script dun sa gusto mo na makita ng audience on stage because this give great impact to the performance. Thus, the mode of the stage must be fit to the script or kind of drama or play. Kaya tayo may iba't ibang types of stages is because that would be appropriate to different types of scripts. So, staging is the position of the acting area in relation to the audience. The acting area is the part of the available space occupied by the set and used by the actors when acting. So, ayan, now we come into the types of staging modalities. So, we have the proscenium theater. A proscenium is the stage of the 19th and 20th centuries. It is also known as a picture frame stage since the audience sits in rows facing the stage and they could watch the play as it would regard a large moving picture in a frame. So para lang siyang nasa sinihan, yung the usual natin na play. So if you were able to visit Earths, yung sa URS Morong, yung Eugenio Amang Rodriguez, the Eulogio Amang Rodriguez EAR theater stage, parang ganyan, o basta ganun, Earths siya. So it has the same stage, yung proscenium stage. So this is considered as the traditional stage. It is a type of staging wherein a curtain underlines the division of the actors and the audience. So kaya may curtains closed, curtains open. In this type of modality, the stage is illuminated during the performance while the audience remained dark. So expect that there are spotlights that direct to the characters when they speak and when there are specific scenes that have to show them. Hello, Kate. Thank you for joining us together with Hannah and Happy New Year. So, ayan, the audience are not disturbed during the play, which makes the staging modality successful in giving real-life illusions during the performance. Ayan. So, you can see here, may parts pa nga siya dito. We have the apron, we have stage, we have the proscenium arch. Okay? So it can be said that it's a window that frames the play taking place on the stage. This type of stage, parang may pumasok. Hello, Nestle, together with Hannah and Kay. Thank you for joining us. So, balik tayo. A proscenium stage is a window that frames the play taking place on stage. This type of stage gives everyone in the audience a good view because the performers need only to focus on one direction rather than continually moving around the stage to give a good view from all sides. You also have a type of stage na lahat ng angles you can see what's happening in the play, but here you can only just see the characters from in front, okay, in front of them because you're actually facing the characters if you're the audience. Okay, so that's the proscenium theater. I'm giving you a closer look of that proscenium theater. Okay, so ayan. So that's the usual type of stage. Now we're zooming out. A proscenium theater arrangement also simplifies the hiding and obscuring of objects from the audience's view. So sets, performers not currently performing, and theater technology. Lahat yun nakatago from the audience. Kaya rin may curtain and at times merong malaking board like sa stage ng Morong. That's also a proscenium theater arrangement. If you have already visited yung kanilang plaza, okay? Merong parang malaking block where doon nangyayari yung nagbibihes and all, nagme-makeup, change costume and all, okay? Because lahat ng props din na hindi ginagamit doon muna tinatakbo, okay? So that promotes hiding and obscuring of objects because that calls for the proscenium type of stage. Anything that's not meant to be seen is simply placed outside the window created by the proscenium arch, either in the wings or in the fly space above the stage. Pero ang kinaiba lang yung sa Morong, wala siyang arch. Ang merong arch is like yung sa Earths nga na sinasabi ko, yung sa URS Morong. Okay? So, second type of stage is a traverse stage. A traverse stage is a form of theatrical stage. Kulang dito, hindi siya na-edit ng editor, in which the audience is predominantly on two sides of the stage. So this looks like a runway, as you see here, no? It's like a runway facing towards its audiences face towards each other. The stage is also commonly known as alley or corridor stage. Ayan, so that is called the traverse stage. So let's know more about it. So the traverse stage is a type of staging modality wherein the audience are sitting on the sides of the stage. Okay, ganun na rin. Just like a fashion catwalk. This type is appropriate for confrontation scenes but needs dynamic, fast-paced entrances. So, hindi rin siya pwede na yung buong play ay dito mo i-run because not all scenes in a play are confrontational. Ano? So it really depends on the script. So you have to plan ahead which type of stage are you going to use talaga. And that would call for, syempre, finishing the draft and finishing the entire play before you plan out which stage are you going to use. Okay? If you have questions, you may just address them in the chat box. No? Now we have the third type of stage. We have the thrust stage. I'm giving you now a closer look of that stage, audience, audience, audience. Okay? A thrust stage is known by its arrangement which consists of being surrounded by audience on three sides. Balik tayo sa plaza ng URS Morong. Plaza ng Morong. Hindi siya sa URS. Plaza ng Morong. Okay, so may audience sa gilid, sa dalawang gilid plus yung audience sa harap. So, its arrangement is surrounded by audience on three sides. The fourth side serves as the background. Okay? Often the playing area is of squared or rectangular shape, usually raised and surrounded by raked seating. Pag sinabi nating raked seating is like arrange yan ng rows. Okay? So, just like the bleachers, perfect yung stage na yan because it has bleachers na from lower levels to higher levels. No? So, that's the third stage. And now we have the fourth type of stage. Ayan, the end stage. So the end stage is the same as the thrust stage, but in this case, the audience is located only on the front of the stage and doesn't extend around it. Backstage is behind the background wall. There is no real wing space to the sides, although there may be entrances there. Walang wing, walang left wing. Pero pwedeng may pinapasukan and nilalabasan doon. So an example of a modern end is a music hall where the background walls surround the playing space on three sides. So may music hall, the background walls surround the playing space like a thrust stage. Scenery primarily is the background. Okay, so pabilog naman siya, end stage. So it's like a thrust stage pero the audience is only on the front. So balik tayo sa thrust stage. Ganto siya pero it only has the audience in the front. Okay? So yung audience dito wala siya and it's just the passageway for the actors to enter and exit. So we also have the arena stage. The arena stage looks like this. Okay? Some others have it na rectangle, some others have it in a circle. No? So, yan yung sinaunang type pa rin ng stage. So, an arena stage is characterized by a central stage surrounding by audiences on all sides. So, ang hirap niyan, ang hirap umarte ng ganyan, So, audience on all sides. If you have watched already yung, yung magic na yon, Now You See Me. So that's a movie about magic and all. Pero yung mga magicians, they steal, they rob money from banks, they fool people, basically they do their magic by while stealing money. Ganon siya. So Now You See Me has, I think, two movies already in the series. So if you're going to watch that, so Now You See Me too, I remember ang stage nila is like this one. Arena stage. So I'm just gonna look it out right now. Now You See Me. Stage scene. Tingnan natin siya. If I can remember that correctly. Walang images but ayan to. So mag-share screen ako na entire screen so that you can see. Ayan. So now you see me stage. Ito siya. Ayan. So that's a YouTube video but I'm just gonna show you the photos. So that's an arena stage. Bilog siya and audiences can be from whichever part of the stage kasi nga circle siya. Okay. Giving a closer look, ayan. And then, another view would be this one. Ayan. So, that's now you see me. Camera trick lang pala lahat ng tao doon. Okay? So, ayan. Now we know. Hello, Rose Sheen, together with Nestle and Hannah. Bumitaw si Kate. No, anyway, ayan. So, yun yung arena stage. Like what I said, it can be circle, it can be in rectangular form. Ano, for as long as the audience surround the stage. So, balik tayo. An arena is characterized by central stage surrounding audiences on all sides. The stage area is often, raised to improve sight lines. So, tingnan nga natin yung sa Now You See Me kung naka-raise. Ayan, naka-raise siya. Ayun, you can see that it's raised right there. And then, ito rin So, it's raised. Ayun yung hagdan niya. No? Next up, we have the flexible theater. A flexible theater, also called as black box theater. These are often big empty boxes painted black inside. Stage and seating not fixed. Instead, each can be altered to suit the needs of the play or whim of the director. So, there's no sample here of a flexible theater. But since curious din ako, I want to learn about that. So, let's type in flexible theater stage. And let's see how it looks like. So, hindi raw siya fixed. Ayan. So, we can see na ganito yung sample niya. Ayan. So, medyo maliit yung sample. Ayan. So, parang sa Inares, no? Okay. So, we can know already that the Inares gymnasium is a sample of a fixed theater because depende sa event yung nagiging ayos ng audiences. Like if it's a basketball game, di ba lahat ng audience surround the stage. But if merong graduation, may platform lang siya dito sa harapan and then the audience would stay surrounding, not surrounding but on three sides. Kasi if merong graduation scene, wala namang audience dun sa likod ng backdrop. Okay? Obviously. So, that's a sample, no? Araneta din, I think, is a flexible theater, Let's see. Let's see ang Araneta Coliseum, ayan. So, there are a lot of arrangements you can do sa Araneta because sa Araneta, pwede ding magkaroon ng basketball game. Ayan. So, pwede kang mag-hold ng basketball game sa Araneta. But you can see, it can also be designed as an arena. Kasi pag-build siya. Okay? So, now let's see an arena naman sa Araneta Coliseum na, Frost Stage. Tingnan natin kung may lalabas. So, that's the thing. If you're curious about something, you can find pictures related to that. Ayan. So, here's a sample of a thrust stage. Pero, same tayo ng venue. That's still Araneta, pero flexible siya kasi you can design the Coliseum based on how you need it. No? So, yun naman ang maganda doon. And then, ang alam ko kasi, like, nung high school ako, we studied about this, yung mga types of stages na meron kang tinatanggal sa floor and inaalis. Parang these are wood panels or wood planks, to suit the need of the audience and then yung directors then and ng production team. So, lahat yan, pasok yan sa flexible theater. Okay? AKA black box. So, now that we're adept already, and we know already what are the different types of stages. We have 5 pala, no? Now, it's time to consider how are we gonna use this in writing a one-act play. Paano naman natin siya gagamitin in writing the play? So, we have tips here. So, you have to choose a subject to cover in a brief one-act play. You also have to develop the action first. So, once you are already done with the story, so dito, in your one-act play, I'm not requiring you to write another story, but have it structured from the short story that you already submitted to me, okay? So you are to develop the action, focus on the action that comes along with the dialogue ano, in your story, and then you are also to develop the characters, because if you focus muna on the action, then you'd be able to plan out which stage are you going to use. So once you develop the characters, you can write out a character sketch to help you flesh out your characters and bring them to life, because you're going to apply now the actions from simple dialogues, no? And descriptions that you were able to write in your short story. Give your characters a motive in life and up the stakes by making them face a problem. So this is essential to any story. Like yung plot structure natin na beginning or intro, rising action, climax, falling action, and denouement, kailangan lagi kayong may rising action and then yung climax. What is the problem? Ano? So the problem is the central idea to the story, because kung walang problem, walang isosolve, linear lang yung story nyo, walang peak. Ano? So it's like you're watching a movie na hindi mo maget kung ano yung pinagkakaguluhan ng characters, no? Number 4, generate the setting. The setting for a one-act play will be one scene, but you have to still develop the scene so the audience sees everything about the storyline. So if you're the director, if you're the writer, if you're the producer, you are to plan out ahead of time what would be the setting. So since you only have one theater, hindi ka naman pwedeng tumalon ng one scene to another, one set to another set, because this is not writing for TV, ano, this is writing for a play and for a theater. So you only technically have one place to have your story told, and now it's up to you whether you're going to use backdrops or projected scenes, or ano nga tawag doon, yung may hologram, ano, you can just write it out in your plan. But here, lighting helps the setting. Make sure you write in notes about how the lighting should look. And if you were able to watch already a play, kayo bang tatlo ay nakanood na ng play ever in your life? Please write in the chat box whether you, yes or no, kung nakanood na kayo ng play. Kasi if you were able to watch a play already, you will see yung basic dynamics, like paano nag-change yung scene based on the props that you see. Like halimbawa kung kwarto, 'di ba, you can see na may mga staff na nagbubuhat ng kama and ng cabinet and ng dresser and all that. Now if the scene changes, matatanggal or mawawala yung yung kama and cabinet and all, and then magdidim yung lights, and then once the light turns on, biglang may may dining area na, may dining table and seats and all and plates and that. So that's one thing, how to generate the setting. You only have one theater, you only have one stage, but it's up to you based on the props and the technology that you have, paano mag-iiba yung scene. Like now, ang mga play ngayon, meron ng LED screen sa likod. Meron din na may hologram na, no? So there won't be carrying stuff and props like that, no? To lessen na rin the work and then yung manpower for producing the scenes, no? Ang pinaka-basic nito, yung theater scene is sa Banana Sunday, no? You can see na minsan sa isang stage may dalawang scene na, and then that naman kaya siya nagdadalawang stage sa dadalawang scene sa isang stage, because that is theater acting na ite-televise, and it would save them time kung yung camera nakafocus lang sa isang part ng screen, say sa left side ng screen, and then after ng scene na yon, the camera would focus naman on the right side of the screen. So yun naman yung counterpart ng pag-dim and pag-turn on ng lights in a traditional play setting, no? Yung pag-angle ng camera from left to right, from right to left, no? Kasi pag nakatutok sa left, nag-aayos naman yung nasa right. And pag nakatutok sa right, nag-aayos yung nasa left in preparation for another scene. Number 5, add in the stage directions after you write the action. So here, I will not require you to write highly technical stage directions since you're actually beginners, but you can just write them as you would say them to the production team, no? So here, you're already acting not only as the writer of the story, but you're also the director and the producer, ano, how you want it, no, how you want the play to be shown to the audience. Write notes about how each character should respond and what props you'll need. For example, if the character should be facing another direction and talking to another character, note it in the script. And find performers that fit each part. So, hindi na natin gagawin to because you're just going to write naman. And then, make copies of the play for each cast member. Okay, hindi na rin yan. Practice the play. So, it's like you're also writing a play for a class, ano, for your class. So, if you've had that experience already of writing a play, then lucky you, ano. Pero kung hindi naman, you can explore that, ano, and it's not really too late to write a play of your own. Kasi kami nung high school, sa class namin na Florante at Laura, we were told to produce a play. So we had 2 groups back then, and then ako yung na-assign na maging writer, playwright nung time na yon. So I can really remember that time, parang kahapon lang siya nangyari, and I planned out all the props, all the costumes for Florante at Laura, and all the characters in the story. But I gave it a twist para siyang naging modern Florante at Laura, because I really didn't want to stick with the traditional. So much for the story time. Now we have another story time here. So read and analyze again the given sample of 1 act play script. Answer the questions below. Determine the staging modality suitable to the script. Ayan. So eto, hindi ko na to ni-require sa inyo, no, because you can just find the answers at the back of the module. But you can read the play and then let it serve as a sample for you in writing your own, no? Kasi we write based on how we got the pattern from others. Ano, hindi siya necessarily copying, but you are going to pick up the pattern lang, and then once you were able to pick up that pattern, you'll be writing your own, and then slowly you'll be having your own style as a writer, no, because it's important that as a writer you need someone to serve as a model, and then that would give you inspiration in writing. I'm just gonna turn off that alarm. Ayan. So, let it serve as an inspiration, and then imitate the style, but not entirely pati yung vocab niya and all. Just the style of writing. And then, once you siguro write at least 5 or 10 plays on your own, no, if ever, then you'll be finding kung sino ka talaga, your own writing identity, no, as a playwright. Now, ayan, we have the setting, lights on, ayan, so ito yung instructions already, ayan, and then dialogue, these are other instructions, ayan, so you can set that as a sample, no? Importante na as a writer, you are reading din, no? Because you cannot be able to write if you have limited reading experience, ano? Kasi doon yung ma-pick, ma-get yung style if you are reading a lot, no? So apart from this, I believe napakaraming examples online ng play, that which you can start off in your writing journey. So ayan. Mahaba siya, because play is technically a long genre, no, mahaba siya, but I think at least 500 words lang yata ang ni-require ko sa inyo because you're beginners, no? And not all of you have that experience of writing a play. On what I have learned, assessment time, so hindi na rin yan kasali, but let's focus now, on the weekly home learning plan. So walang sumagot sa question mo kanina. I think, I suppose na wala pa nakakanood ng play sa inyo, no? And that's okay. So, we have here now the weekly home learning plan. So, paki-disregard na lang yung date, no? Because this is actually for January 3 to 7. Medyo napaaga ng bigay, no? Than the Kasi akala ko January 10 to 14 kayo, no? So now, ayan, 6 to 7 a.m., wake up, say a prayer, make your bed, eat your breakfast, organize your study area, write your to-do list for the day, prepare learning materials, have some water and snacks ready, look forward to a productive learning day, and do all that you need to do before setting yourself up for work. Ano, and for studying, ano, that I mean by work. So, for morning session, you are to write a one act play applying the various elements, techniques, and literary devices you learned from the previous sessions. Ito ay separated the competencies, and here you are to identify the different staging modalities, determine which stage modality is appropriate in a certain script, explore the different staging modalities vis-a-vis envisioning the script. So ayan, you are to compare and contrast the four different types of theater stages by filling out the CompCon Quad Graphic Organizer in your activity sheet. So kanina sa module nyo, for four circle Venn diagram, but here I did not do that because I wanted to write for you to write a different angle of the comparison and contrast. So here's a comparison contrast quad graphic organizer. You're going to put in the differences. Dali. Hirapan ako mag-navigate. Differences dun sa bezel, dun sa bezel part, and then the similarities are in the middle. So that goes there. Okay? So for the rubric, ayan, evidence of writing 15, details and examples 10. Okay, for plagiarized outputs, I'm not gonna check them. Ano, that would automatically receive 0 points. Next up, for the afternoon session, again, you're going to write a one-act play, but here, this is where now the playwriting goes. Ano, because after you identify the differences and similarities of the four kinds of theater stages, now you're going to write your play. So at least 500 words, so that's the standard. And if you want to go overboard, pwede naman, write about one particular scene from your original short story. So balik tayo sa week 8, activity 9, yung short story nyo. I know that you perfectly remember what your short story is because kayo sumulat nun, no? So sa short story nyo, you can just choose a scene from that short story and then apply the various elements, techniques, and literary devices you learned from our previous lesson. And then, of course, you have to identify the type of stage you are about to use in your one-act play, and then write also the specifics, like the directions that you want the characters to follow, and then the production team to follow, just like what I showed you dun sa sample kanina. No, you can just take that as your pattern. And then you are to identify yun nga type of stage, and then there's also the rubric here for, so this is how you'll be graded. For the structure, we have 15 points, for the dialogue 10 points, for the development 10 points, characters 10 points, and staging 5 points. And kasama na rin dyan yung instructions that you are to give the production team and the actors. So, few sentences responses are not at all encouraged. Refer to examples of plays to get you started. Plagiarized submissions shall automatically receive 0 points. And I think wala na rin kayong time mag-plagiarize because you're going to write a play on your own, and that is structured from a scene from your short story, na yung short story nyo rin naman original. So, I'm confident na walang magpe-plagiarize this time. Okay? So I'm just gonna close that and focus now on our activity sheet. Hello kay Nashel, Eliza, together with Hannah, Nestle, and Rose Chin. Bumitaw talaga si Kate Rachel, but that's okay. So now, eto yung activity sheet. Ayan, that's for 25 points, yung first activity natin. So you're going to compare and contrast the arena, proscenium, truss, and flexible types of stages. Okay? Or pwedeng hindi flexible, you can just write yung isa pang type of stage that we missed out on this, okay? So, basta 4, because you only have 4 slots here. So, for week 12, activity 13, ayan, yung one-act play nyo goes here. So, that's for 50 points, including the directions that you are to give the production team and the actors. So, if ever that you lack space here, I opted to print another activity sheet. Ayan, so that's an extra sheet for you to write your output on. Okay? So, do not forget to invite your parents to answer yung ulat sa pagsubaybay natin, no? Because that would involve them in your learning, ano, para maramdaman rin nila that they're important and that they are involved in your progress as a student. Okay, that would be all. Any questions from the group before we leave? Actually, this is already notification na rin to all of you that we are to face harder exercises in the next few weeks. And kaya sinama ko na yung activities nyo for weeks 13 and 14 and 15 and 16 dun sa ating weekly home learning plan. So do not return yet yung weekly home learning plan ninyo because that's your copy actually. But I really don't get it bakit may nagbabalik ng weekly home learning plan. That is actually for you to get back to, ayan, this is a question from Rose Chin. Ma'am, yung pong sa devices, pwede pong pa-mention kahit isa for to make sure lang po ko yung talagang alam ko. Literary devices are like Deus Ex Machina, 'di ba? If you're writing about a certain character na lagi may tumutulong sa kanya to solve his or her problems, that's a literary device, Deus Ex Machina. If you are writing naman, though, be careful if you're using that device kasi parang lalabas na walang sariling lakas si character mo, no? So you have to use that very carefully and very minimally kasi kung puro ganon yung characters mo, ang problems nila, laging may taga-solve, laging merong tumutulong, then how strong is the character that you're developing, ano? Sobrang weak naman yan, no? So, yon. Another literary device would be yung ating pag nag-start ka sa gitna in media res. If you started the story or the narrative at the middle of the narrative and then going down to the end tapos magpa-flashback na lang siya, flashback is another. Okay, those are the basic literary devices that you can do or you can use. Thank you, Rose Sheen. So, meron ka bang nagamit doon sa flashback? May foregrounding din, no? If you are, foreshadowing, and that's also called foregrounding. So, if the character is, say, you started the narrative at the end of the story and then nagfa-flashback na si ay nagpo-foreground na siya. So, foreground is thinking of what's to come, thinking of the future, that's foregrounding. Thank you din, Rose Shane. And thank you for addressing that question. At least meron tayong comprehension check dito. Thank you. So, yun nga, like what I've told you, meron tayong mga difficult tasks to come, and that would be for weeks 13 and 14 where you are to create a portfolio. That's an online portfolio of your output. So that would be by group. So please read the weekly home learning plan for that. But ayoko muna na distract kayo dun sa task na yun, but focus muna on the play because this is important and this is one type of activity that would be useful din sa inyo sa college if you're still gonna take yung related courses sa college nyo, probably you'd be asked to write a play, no? Pwede po bang pasend sa GC na example kanina? Example na, yung kanina kong mga pinresent, no? Sige, pwede. Yung Araneta and all, no? And sa Now You See Me, yun lang naman ang wala sa module. Kaya, it's very important to attend Kumustahan sessions because not all details are in the module. And we as the teacher and as a student, we may share other details apart from what's present in the module. And if you do not attend Kumustahan sessions, then you might miss out some helpful details that could actually assist you in writing your outputs, no? Thank you, Hannah, for your request. Sige, I'll be sending the outputs later. The examples. Send outputs in the GC. And then, for weeks 15 and 16 naman, we'll be having our workshop. That's also one of my dreams then in our school na magkaroon tayo ng workshop because we had that first time namin mag-workshop noong 2017, no? and hindi na siya nasundan nung 2019, 2020 kong creative writing class because nag-pandemic, no? So I'm hoping to have it back again on track, but yun nga, it's online because we're on printed modular distance learning modality. Hindi naman kayo required na lahat mag-workshop, but I'm encouraging you to join the workshop because joining the workshop would mean improving your writing, ano, because you'd be presenting your work to the audience, to your fellow writers, and then your fellow writers would be critiquing your work. So in your weekly home learning plan for weeks 15 and 16, you'll also be reading there yung guide questions that you can start off with in joining the workshop. Ano, how to join a workshop and how does a workshop actually work. Okay? So, yun. If you have questions, you may just address them in the chat box or you may turn on your mic. If none, then yun, wala naman na. Let's take a photo na lang if wala na kayong questions. Then we can end the call right away. Wala nang questions? May gustong i-clarify? Wala na. Okay. Thank you, Rose Jean. So, kung wala na, I'm inviting you to turn on your camera and let's take a photo for documentation purposes. I'm also gonna stop the recording. Nasa kabila pala yung recording sa account ng Senior High. Okay. Thank you, Rose Jean, for turning on your camera. Baka hindi ready yung tatlo. Okay. Let's take a photo. A 1, a 2, a 3. Ayan. Thank you so much for joining. Ayan. Thank you and Happy New Year. Keep safe, everyone.